Welcome to the Downtown, brought to you by Arlington Citizen Media. I am Rody John, and this week we talk to Monica Leura with Trademark Property Company. They are the ones that just purchased Lincoln Square. We talk all about the purchase and what people can look forward to in the future when it comes to Lincoln Square. I'm very much looking forward to seeing what they're going to do. They've done amazing things out in Dallas, down in Houston, in Fort Worth. They genuinely care about what is happening with the community and giving it back. So this is a great interview. We also listened to local music from Billy Starr, which you've heard on our show before, with the song Into the Light. But first, here's somebody else you've heard on the show before, David Tribble with Feathers. Monica Leura with Trademark Property Company. How are you doing today?
Good. How are you?
Doing well. So, Trademark Property Company is celebrating 30 years in business. How did Trademark begin?
So, our company, as you said, we celebrated our 30th anniversary actually this year, and we had a big celebration in October. But it began with our CEO, Terry Montesi. He's from Memphis. His family owned a chain of grocery stores, and so that's kind of where he got his first, foot in the door for retail. He ended up going to work for a company called Lincoln Property Company, which, you should know today.
Yeah.
Him and his family ended up also being a Blockbuster franchise.
Interesting.
Oh my God, how do you say it?
I guess a franchise owner.
Franchise owner,
Yeah,
sorry.
You're fine. I used to work at a Blockbuster.
Oh, really? Yeah. So I can't remember. They were one of the early on ones. So that's kind of where he initially got his kind of retail development background. Started a company with some other local Fort Worth real estate people in the late 80s. While, the economic times of the late 80s allowed him to go and purchase a bunch of properties that were a third of the cost because most of them had gone back to the banks in that time period.
Right.
And so really learning from that and being able to, once properties weren't available anymore, getting into development, he started Trademark in 1992.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's crazy 30 years later. Here we
Yeah.
are.
Yeah, and I've been at Trademark 12 and a half years, so.
Wow.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's that's almost half the time that they've been around.
Yeah, I know. It's like I know where all the bodies are.
Yeah.
Well, but it's been really awesome to see how much we've grown since, 2010 when I first started.
Right.
And we're retail and, this commercial space has changed so much in the last 12 years.
Right. That's amazing to watch a company grow like that. So it was announced last month that Trademark Property Company has bought Lincoln Square in Arlington, which will celebrate 40 years of business next year. With the announcement that came with the news that you are also entering a 30-year partnership with the city of Arlington, what all can you tell us about this huge news?
Yeah, so, we have been looking at Lincoln Square off and on as a company, for the last 7 years. I think when I was in mid 2016, 2017, we were doing some underwriting and looking at the potential redevelopment of it. So when at the end of last year, when it kind of came back to the market, we really took a deep dive, and it was just the right time for us, being in the center of the Metroplex and everything that Arlington has done today with their investment in their entertainment district. And, I grew up in the South Fort Worth, Arlington area, so I spent a lot of time in Arlington. I've season tickets to the Cowboys game, so I've seen how much the city has invested in downtown Arlington and UTA and that whole area. And so just a great opportunity and to, purchase a property in Arlington that's really at the gateway of the entertainment district.
Right. Like I said, Lincoln Square next year will be around for 40 years, which is absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
Considering how many different things have come through there and come out of there. And again, outside of that, how much the area has grown. We've got 2 new stadiums, the giant hotel coming in, or hotel is already there, plus the expansion that's coming in, plus the luxury condos, the Medal of Honor Museum. Lincoln Square should have been such a great thing for such a long time, but unfortunately in the past, we'll say decade or so, it's kind of gone downhill a little bit. So this is the first time this is y'all's first time in Arlington. Why did y'all feel that this redesign was something y'all would want to take on?
Again, I would say being the fact that we're a Fort Worth-based company and we've done projects all over the Metroplex. We have, Waterside, West Bend. We partnered with Hillwood on Alliance, as well as Victory Park and Dallas and Waters Creek and past projects in Dallas. It made sense completely for us to invest in Arlington. And again, a lot of it goes back to its super great real estate off I-30 in the center of the Metroplex. And Arlington is just so much going on, and it's been a great partner to date. So it was just great timing for us to finally take the leap and get involved.
True. It obviously does need a little bit of a facelift.
Yeah.
It had kind of a new coat of paint recently, but the whole place kind of needs a whole redone. So going forward, do you see that this being a mixture of national and local names when it comes to businesses, or is it mainly going to be focused on the national names?
No, it's definitely going to be a mix of both national and local. And one of the things that I think makes us so unique, and what I think the city appreciated in us and our interest in the project, is the fact that, we do a lot of our projects are not cookie cutter. You can't go to the 18 projects we have now and say, oh, that's the exact same project. We're not a merchant builder. We don't do the exact same thing every time.
Good.
And so we really try to cater to what's the community wants. So we always start off our project with a lot of research. So, we close at the very end of October, and then the following next week, we had our first community meeting, which we had already sent out a survey that we included in, our press release. And it was really like, what do you like about Lincoln Square today? Just trying to get a feel of what people thought about it. And, we've done this a few times, and this one had the most responses we've ever had.
Wow.
So, going into our meeting, our design meeting the week after, we already had 1,500 responses from our survey. And before that, we had 1,300 on a different project, but at 2 weeks into owning it, we already had so much great feedback. And our community meeting that we hosted the first week of November, we had over 100 stakeholders show up. And it was just, tell us what you think. What do you like? What do you not like? What do you want? What do you think about the name Lincoln Square? Does it matter to this community? Or are you all open to ideas? We really wanted to introduce who Trademark was to the community, and just be like, this is who we are, this is where we're located, here's our experience, this is the type of projects we do. And we always start with research. So you all coming to this meeting tonight or participating in the survey is our initial research.
Right. I mean, Texans are very loyal to Texas things.
Oh, yeah.
And as we see with Whataburger getting bought by a Chicago investment company, people think that it's different.
Yeah.
I've been to Whataburger multiple times recently. It's the exact same.
Yeah.
It's still delicious.
Yeah.
You got new menu items, but they've always had like the shop and all the other things. So it's funny that I imagine people also came to the meeting thinking the same thing. Oh, you're going to change it. It's not going to be the same Lincoln Square that I was like, well, good.
Yeah.
It doesn't need to be.
Yeah.
It needs to be something different. And again, we're that close to the entertainment district. They've already built on the other side of 30. That's where that whole, where you have Social House and Biscuit Bar.
Champions Crossing, I believe.
That's gorgeous.
Yeah.
And then you look across the street to Lincoln Square. No offense.
Yeah.
I know it's like 40 years old now, but
Yeah.
it needs that facelift again.
Yeah. We definitely want to always come into a community and try to add something that's not there existing,
Exactly.
right? So whether if you live in North Arlington or around the entertainment district, like where are you going to shop? Some of the responses we had were a lot of people go to, Northeast Mall because it's easier for them to go to that area versus driving down Cooper to go to Arlington Highlands or, Parks Mall. Or people were like, no, we actually will drive to Fort Worth or we'll drive to Dallas to go shopping or go to restaurants because, where they're located now in that area, there's not enough variety for what they want.
Interesting.
And so we definitely keep a happy balance of national tenants versus local. And we have a lot of local tenants now that live in Arlington, and it's, mom and pop, if you will. So it's a happy balance for sure.
Right. I guess could you give us some of the highlights and then also on the other side, a couple of the lowlights when it came to the survey?
Yeah. So what was interesting is we were asking, how often do you go to Lincoln Square? And a lot of people put once a month, if even that. And you could probably imagine, we call it the Power Center where Burlington to Ulta is, that kind of run. A lot of people go there for their daily needs.
And I know some people, that Studio Movie Girls, their movie
Studio
spot.
Yep, exactly.
And the Boomer Jacks for some people is their local bar. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Especially if you're going to a game or something like that. So it's interesting. A lot of people said when they go to Lincoln Square, they go there to eat. But then the next question was like, what's missing from Lincoln Square? And they said restaurants. So they go there to eat, but then they also want a variety of restaurants. So,
which is, I guess, understandable, but at the same time,
Yeah.
how do you go there to eat and you still need other places?
And there's a lot of great existing restaurants there, so it's just, providing additional variety. And, people always say that they want more green space or open space, public parks, things like
Right.
that, which, you know, if you're in the northern Arlington or this area, I know the Arlington Highlands has done some stuff recently where they've added some green space, but,
Right.
you know, where do the people in this northern part of Arlington, where do they go now to just hang out?
That is true, yeah.
So, people said that they don't really bring guests to Lincoln Square now.
Interesting.
Yeah, which out-of-town guests, I guess, if you will.
Right. Oh, I guess they might just be going, all right, let's go to Texas Live.
Yeah, let's go to Texas Live or, you know, the kind of touristy places.
Yeah.
And when asked how would you characterize Lincoln Square today, some of the popular answers was empty, outdated, lacking. When asked if there's, you know, stores or restaurants or entertainments they want to see, a lot of people cited grocery stores was a desire for them.
I have heard that so I would say Pioneer and Cooper and up, there is, from what I've heard, kind of a food vacuum or a grocery vacuum. Because other than, like, let's say an El Rod's or, there's a Kroger off Lamar and 30, but, you know, that whole area, there's a lot of residential in that area, and other than those couple handful
or
of
if you're
places.
trying to go to Walmart, but how often do you want to go to Walmart during like a game
any
day or
game,
all events where they're like towing you if they think you're going to a game? And then so what we asked, you know, what did you think about it in the future, or what did you think about it today, and then what do you want it to be in the future? And some of the keywords people pointed out was fun, family friendly, vibrant, upscale destination, exciting, more lively. And all of this feedback that we received from the community, we had that first week a community meeting. The following week, we've already kicked off design with our kind of own design workshop charrette process. And we presented all of this to the city officials that were in attendance as well as our design team. So it's like, it was a discussion about like, okay, this is what people want. This is where they want to go, and here's how they feel about some of the elements that exist today.
Wow, okay. Very nice.
So I just find that so normal, having been at Trademark so long, that like, of course, we always start with the community and we find out what they want, and which I find a lot of people don't do that.
Interesting, really.
Or they don't do it, I feel like, in necessarily such a open way. Like, you may have like smaller focus groups, or you hire a third-party firm to come and, you know, do some research. But again, we're sharing a survey. Anyone that has interest or wants to take the time to fill out a survey about the project or come attend a public city meeting, then like, you obviously care about the property and you want to see the success or what happens to it. So I just love the fact that we do that.
That is amazing, because you're not just building something and you're like, okay, you'll love it.
Yeah.
Bye.
Yeah.
You're like, okay, you guys have to live with this. You're the one shopping here.
Yeah.
You're the one, like you said, bringing people from out of town. Because people are going to, Arlington is now the number 2 destination city in America. Orlando is number 1. Obviously, you got Disney World, Universal Studios, all this fun stuff there. And then Arlington, you got the stadium, Six Flags, Hurricane Harbor, or Wet n Wild, depending on how old you are.
Yeah.
But
I'm the Wet n Wild.
yeah, me too. Yeah, without a doubt. But Lincoln Square is always, again, that place that you should be taking people.
Yeah.
Not just Texas Live. Like, I love Texas Live.
Yeah.
Know? The fact that they can fit that many restaurants in one place is bonkers to me. But Lincoln Square is a beautiful, now 40 years old, like, it needed that revitalization that everything around it had gotten, except that.
Yeah. And it was pretty obvious to us that, you know, previous ownership was kind of preparing for it to, you know.
Is that why? So I had heard that a lot of people weren't going in there due to the rent being too high. Do you think
I think there's some strategic moves made to help for a future redevelopment, right? Because you can only do so much if you have tenants that are in there that have long-term leases, and you know. So I think there was a little bit of priming for that, considering, you know, we've been looking at the project off and on for a while, and again, it was just happened to be the right time, and the city of Arlington, with everything else they had going on, was, you know, is super invested in seeing this. You know, it is 30 in Collins, right? So it's, as soon as you enter in to the Arlington, into the entertainment district, it's the first thing you see, and it's, you know, an outdated, design layout. There's just so much that we're gonna do.
Right.
That it's just like I'm super excited for it.
I'm excited as well. Now, are there people wanting to get into Lincoln Square? So, like, obviously, I mean, there are, but will anything be torn down? What can people kind of look forward to going forward? And I guess, when will things start? A lot of questions at once. But
No. So, we, part of our meeting with our design teams that we kicked off. So, let me back up. I think we have a very unique design process in that we pick 2 or 3 design firms to come in, and we all spend 2.5 days in a room, plan iterations and, hey, what if we think about if we lay it out like this? Oh, no, I don't like this. Or, yeah, let's keep going on that. And we all, we mix up design firms. So you may work for architect A and you work for architect B,
right.
But, you're not going to necessarily stay with your teams because it's all about the best plan for the site and not necessarily the best team is what I always say.
Okay.
And we want to see how collaborative you all can be. So, with that, we got a lot of like iteration and ideas condensed at one time. So we actually will be getting some plan summaries from those groups today, which I'm super excited to see about. So I would say by next summer, we'd be submitting for going through the City of Arlington process with the plan in hand of what our future is going to be, and everything's up in the air regarding if space is coming down or space is staying. This isn't going to be we tear down all of Lincoln Square at once. There's obviously a phased approach to that, but there's a lot of things in place and working with the existing tenants to working with them on staying or relocating or just making sure that it's successful for everyone.
Right.
This stuff takes time. So.
Yeah, because obviously you're going to be doing construction. You don't want to interfere with their businesses.
100%.
Yeah, because they're still bringing money in, bringing taxes in. So it just makes sense to not interfere with what's going on.
Yes, 100%. We've the good thing about our team and our company is that we have a lot of people that have a lot of experience from all over, and so being able to operate a project while under construction or while you're making modifications is something that we want to be a good steward and want to again make everyone successful for the ultimate goal.
Yeah, because as we found out, you guys are in this for the 30-year haul.
Oh yeah.
As long as the company's been around, you're now double downing and you're going to be in here with the City of Arlington for 30 more years.
We are definitely a long-term investor in this area.
Yes. Now, is that something y'all do with every project, or is this kind of like a new kind of partnership that y'all have done?
No, we have I think we've done 19 or 20 public-private partnerships in various forms across the country.
Okay.
So, there's a lot of things that, whether you're building ground up or you're taking an old asset that just, whether it's infrastructure that's old that needs to be replaced, like, part of we have a project in the southeast part of the country where, it's a big investment for us to come in and tear down a lot of things that have been there for 30 years, right? Yeah. So having public-private partnership or incentives available is just, you need it in order to help make the project work, right? And sometimes it's what makes or breaks a project going forward. So Victory Park in Dallas, which we worked on, we helped reimagine all of the retail for the owner that owned everything south of American Airlines Center. Most of that work, not majority of it, was done through public-private partnerships with the city of Dallas. So along the way, whether it was, hey, we're going to have a design meeting and study how we can help, this failing retail project, right? Because when you have something like American Airlines Center, you don't want a bunch of empty storefronts along the area, right? So we converted roads to two-way traffic there. We added a lot of the placemaking there, right? Was through public-private partnerships. When you live in a place like that, you don't want to live in a concrete, where there's like vacant parking lots and half-built garages. So
it's scary enough sometimes going downtown. So
so that area changed so much, and it was through a partnership with the city of Dallas that we were able to successfully get that done.
Yeah, so my girlfriend's from New Orleans, and she moved
Okay.
up here, and I've taken her down there multiple times. We've gone to different events over the American Airlines Center. She loves Billy Can
Oh, yeah.
a lot.
Yeah.
That place is fantastic. And then there was also another sushi place over there that she loved. So
Oh, Emoto?
yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
We like that place a lot, too.
I know we joked that like one of the first tenants we got signed was Jimmy John's, and I'm like, I love Jimmy John's, but it's like you have all these people that office here, you have all these people that live here.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just need a sandwich.
True.
You gotta
Sometimes
have
you don't have
like
a
the
lot of
Jimmy
time.
John's, the Freshies, the there's the ramen place, and then Billy Can. So that's, I would say, a good example of how we merchandise projects where you have kind of your national tenants, and then you have restaurateurs like Tristan Simon's Group Reeby's, which owns Billy Can,
Yeah.
or the people that do Hero, which is this
Oh,
Elias, the same people that own HG Supply.
Right.
So it's a good mix of nationals, locals. I mean, Sinopolis with a cinema on the
I haven't
top
been
of
in
a
there,
garage.
but it looks beautiful.
Yes, it was. It's a fun project.
Okay.
That was probably the first project I worked on from like start, from when we took it over to reimagine it to when the owner sold it.
Yeah, that whole area is fantastic.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you guys did a great job.
Thanks. It was a lot of blood, sweat, and tears for 7 years.
Oh, I imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially dealing with the city of Dallas and with that area. It's just...
Well, it's just the event center, right? So
Yeah.
I know a lot of people talk about like Lincoln Square and traffic and all that other stuff, but what makes this stuff doable is that, AT&T Stadium, the city of Arlington, does such a great job managing traffic during game days. Again, I've season tickets to the Cowboys, so I'm there like every Sunday, and it's very easy to get in and out once you know what you're doing. So that doesn't scare us being up the street at Lincoln Square that, there's going to be some traffic on days, but that's good. People, maybe they want to come and eat dinner or grab some last minute things with their guests before they go to an event, whether it's at Globe Live or AT&T or
Choctaw with the XFL starting.
Yes. Or, the Future Medal of Honor Museum, which
True.
I'm super excited to see happen.
Yeah.
So
And the rugby team that's over there, there's so much stuff going on over there.
yeah.
Now, as we talked about, this is a massive entertainment district with 3 stadiums within walking distance. And as we also mentioned, Lincoln Square has kind of been on the downturn for around a decade or so. What is Trademark's plan to revise it? I mean, I know we kind of touched on a lot, but we also didn't touch on like the multifamily stuff that's happening. And I guess go into a little more detail as to what people can look forward to when it comes to Lincoln Square.
So we are very open and, planning right now all types of mixed uses.
Yeah.
So, right sizing the retail, making sure we have the best mix for the community. There's potential for multifamily. If you look at kind of the newer supply and current, there's still need for people that, they may live in, one spouse or partner lives in Fort Worth, the other one works in Dallas, and they want to, start their family in Arlington. So there's potential for multifamily. We're exploring office. We're exploring hotels, so definitely kind of a true mixed-use environment.
Yeah, which, I mean, that area has, buried behind it is a good neighborhood. There's a lot of multifamilies going in there, and then there's so many apartments, and then, as you talk about, the executive condos that are going in on the other side of the convention center, like, that area is going to be very packed and condensed, but in a good way.
Yeah, and we're, we are very aware of everything else going on with, the Drury's doing their hotel, and then obviously Lowe's is adding another 888 rooms, and
with the giant convention center.
With the giant convention center, so like, how can we design and plan for the future that's going to fit within the area and not, just throw too many options at everybody.
No, that makes sense. So, is there another? I mean, you mentioned that a lot of these projects are not cookie cutter. You're not doing this isn't going to be the same as the other one. But is there another project that y'all have worked on that could be potentially similar to what will happen with Lincoln Square?
I would say,
or is this kind of a first of its kind?
I would say if you look at what we've done at our Market Street Woodlands project or our Waters Creek project, both of those are mixed use in that they obviously retail and office. The one thing our Woodlands project doesn't have, and that one was built in 2006, and if you would go there today, it would look, it still stands the test of time. You know, it's kind of evolved to the community, within the community of even the public space has already been redone, but it's a lot of luxury tenants have moved in there in the last few years. But what's important about both of those is that it fits into the context of what the community needed, right? So one of the things that we are super involved in, and one of the things that Terry, our CEO, loves is the public realm placemaking design, right? So it's hard for some people to be like, why would you set like half an acre aside for a public space, right? Like you could put buildings on there and you could be generating more income and stuff like that, but it's like you need to provide a place for the community to own and you know, take ownership of and call their own. And when you do stuff like that, then you know, everything else around it benefits.
Exactly.
So I would say those two projects, if you look at them within the context of the community, is what we strive for.
I mean, that's true, because then you could have like little farmers markets. You can
have
100% festivals or whatever. Yeah. Or like, as we learned in the past 2 years, it's okay to go outside and enjoy being outside. And just, I mean, in North Texas, there's like 3 months that you don't really want to be anywhere near outside. But for the most part, like, it's just, you need that outdoor fresh air, get this vitamin D on your skin. Like, it's good for you to be outside. Yeah.
Like where can you have the Christmas tree for Christmas lighting? Where can you host, you know, art fairs, farmers markets? We've been often at our Waterside project here in Fort Worth. It was our first kind of conscious place focused project where, you know, we have, it's all for the community, right? Yeah. So we have a community shed that's free to rent. And if you sell Girl Scout cookies, or if you're a charity and you want to, you know, instead of just having a table out in front of a store, you could come rent this little building for free, rent it for free. And it's, you know, a fan you can plug in, and it's just like, it's a promotion shed. So it's free for you to use, but it's like, that's for the community to own. So
that's amazing.
Yeah.
So after 30 years of being in business, what would you tell CEO Tony if you were to be able to go back in time?
Terry.
Oh, I said Tony. My bad.
Yeah, yes, no, Terry.
Yeah.
Well, he's Italian, so he probably wouldn't be offended by a Tony. That you're doing it right.
Wow.
Our one of our things is evolving, and our purpose statement is to be extraordinary stewards, enhance communities, and enrich lives. And the way that we do that is to continue to evolve. And, you know, being here almost half the company's lifespan, I've seen that. We are family, which sounds like cheesy, like, you're off to it. But it's like, it's true. Like, we all spend so much time together, and we all do it because we love what we do, right? I wouldn't be at a company for most of my adult life if I didn't love what I did. But I've seen the way that we're able to be nimble and evolve and kind of go, like, shift ourselves with what's happening within the market, whether it's, you know, 08 and development slowed down, but you got to, you know, focus more on like third party and working with other owners to, you know, right now we recently added a multifamily division into our company. So where I would say we built retail and office, we always sold off to multifamily partners, and hospitality, we're not there yet. But now, you know, we do it all, everything else, so why not bring in multifamily under house? So that's kind of been a big focus for us the last 2 years. So we've done it right. We've been able to kind of continuously grow upon where Terry started with, you know, building for big box, which you would say that's like an Old Navy or Michael's kind of tenant, to now more focused on design and placemaking and community-driven projects.
Yeah.
So
that makes sense. I like that.
Yeah.
Now, we have a segment on the show called Tournament of Toppings, where we're trying to find the best pizza place. What's your favorite pizza place?
Oh, man. So this isn't in Arlington, and it's also because it's like I can walk there from our house. There's this place called Prima's off Hewlin Street and like Granbury Road. It's in a little shopping center. It's been there forever. Yeah. You can tell it's Italian owned, like good family restaurant, BYOB, even though I'm like, I live around the corner, so I just walk there all the time and like pick it up. It's so good. It's so good.
I love that.
And I like all spicy things, so I'm like jalapenos all the time.
Yeah.
It's actually funny. This place was like, oh, we love your Caesar salad so much. And the guy's like, it's just like Hidden Valley Caesar dressing. And I'm like, oh, okay. So we can order that.
There you go. Now, if people want to find out more about Trademark Property Company, what y'all are doing with Lincoln Square, and then how can they do all of that?
Yeah, so obviously our website, trademarkproperty.com, you can go down to the Lincoln Square page. We'll update, packages and presentations as they become available. And again, a part of our approach is definitely, engaging the community. So once we're at a point where we have a plan and we want to get feedback, we'll reach back out to people that responded to a survey, or we'll post on our social media. And again, partnering with the city, definitely make it available if people want to come, give their feedback.
Which is awesome. I very much look forward to seeing what you guys do with Lincoln Square. Like I said, it's been needing a facelift for quite a while.
Yeah, so I'm excited. I said, I grew up in the area and have driven by it many times, and so I love it. Yeah, I used to go to Sherlock's a long time ago. I went to the coffee house a long time ago. My friend actually met her husband there. Oh, that's awesome. So, one of my coworkers, actually, we joke because she took her prom pictures at the fountain. Oh, so we're like, we need to you need to blow that up, and we need to put it in the office. Yeah. So, it's great. And again, the city of Arlington has done so many amazing things with downtown, and I love Jay Gilligan's. I go there all the time. That's an institution for Arlington. Oh yeah, 100%. So nice. And then again, the entertainment district, and just seeing how much UTA has changed. Yeah, that's throughout the years. I'm super excited to be working in our kind of backyard. Yeah. In Arlington and being partner with them. They're smart, and my personal vision for Lincoln Square is that it's going to become a place where people can come together, whether it's the local community or people, Fort Worth, Dallas, be jealous that Arlington has such a cool place. But you know what? Awesome that we can all access it because it's in the middle of the Metroplex. Exactly. So Arlington has a lot going on for it, and I'm super excited to be working. It really does, and I look forward to seeing what the future holds as well. Yeah. So thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you so much to Monica, and thank you to Billy Starr, which you guys just heard, and then David Tribble on top of the show. I love this new thing we've done with the show where we are highlighting local musicians so that you can hear them in case you never have. Maybe check them out all over your streaming services, all over social media. Go see them live. That is one of the best things you can do for them. And then just keep telling other people about them. So I love that. You can also hear the podcasts and interviews we've done with both of them. They're fantastic artists and great people all the way around. So while you're out listening to a great local music, make sure to head on over to Dr. Jekyll's every Monday. That is their trivia night, which starts at 7 p.m. And then every first Tuesday over at Blitz Lounge, sorry about that. That is karaoke night, and that starts at 11 p.m. You have an enter for a chance to win $200. And then every Tuesday, if it's not the first Tuesday, actually you can go before. It's comedy night over at Mavericks Bar and Grill, which is also 225 Barbecue now. That starts at 3 p.m. Every Wednesday over at Jambo's Barbecue, you can catch UTA Jazz Night from 5:30 to 7:30. And then later that night, every Wednesday night from 7 to 9 p.m., Division Brewing is having their trivia night. So make sure to go out there and eat local, drink local, and rediscover your city. Tag us and send those pictures over to us on Facebook, Arlington Citizen Media, Twitter, ATX Citizen Media. Tag us on Instagram, Arlington Citizen Media, and send those pictures the old-fashioned way. Email arlingtoncitizenmedia@gmail.com. Also go to our website, www.arlingtoncitizenmedia.com. Don't forget to subscribe and give those 5-star reviews of the downtown at Apple Music, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and also hit us on SoundCloud, iHeartRadio, and YouTube.